I'm Dagmar Reinhardt, the lecturer of computational design at the Faculty of Architecture, University of Sydney. What we're looking at here is the I Love Todd Sampson show. Michelle St. has come to us and we are developing that project for a stage design set at the Pier Wharf in March 2013.
The story is of Laura, a middle-aged woman who has had a really traumatic childhood. She's been sold off by her father to his mates at an RSL club. This happened from the age of 12 years old to about 16. There's been a lot of moments of crisis when these acts of violence occurred, where she would then concentrate on elements within the room, and these elements then personified and became friends to her. So throughout her adult life, these friends reappear into her life, and that's what we experience within the lower level of Pier 2-3.
In concept, these move through sensors, so when people walk past them, it's actually activated and the structure moves in conjunction with the body passing it. So people experience this moving structure with transparent fabric on the exterior and the bone structure behind, so they can actually see everything moving as a female body would.
We started with a 3D model in Rhino, which was created by different curves that we drew in Rhino and used like different commands like loft and sweeps, and then exported it as a .stl file for the powder printing machine. So it was powder printed.
These models are electroactive polymers, and when you actually put a current through them, they flex on their own. It's a new technology that's coming out. It uses structural tape, which is a very special type of polymer for its structural properties, and we rub carbon graphite powder onto either side of this tape and use a polycarbonate frame to create this doubly curved surface. And then we attach electrodes and 7,000 volts of power to these prototypes, and they relax out and create very interesting curved surfaces.
The thing that will combine all these different projects with each other is the materiality. We have selected gold as this is the most luxurious element, and that transports Laura's first point of being sold by her father. But we're trying to resolve her, to salvage her through that materiality, because gold also has these relationships to religious aspects, to mood, and to the beauty of life.
My name's Spence. I'm the composer, but I'm also performer, or I'm a co-composer. There's two of us. My role in the play, well, the obvious one is to support or create an environment that that supports the action.
Yeah.
But in this particular play, I'm also performing as a musician, so that people can enjoy music for its own sake,
Yeah.
which is quite unusual.
Yeah.
So I mean, the piece of music that I had in mind for this room has quite a lot of movement in the sound of it anyway, and sort of quite a lot of ebb and flow dynamically, so it can go quiet and then come loud. And so it's actually ended up being quite a nice duet for me in these shapes, which has been fun. I've enjoyed that.
My immediate response was one of expansion and contraction, especially because as we worked under different temporal experiences here, some days the wind would be quite powerful and it would feel like a very tempestuous moment, and so the breath would respond in a more sort of heightened and enlivened way, and other times it'd just be responding with expansion. The delicate nature of the fleur-de-lis was the next thing that I explored, particularly with small movements of fingers and the head moving around, and that then moved on to what I call the cranial pieces in my head, because I feel like that's the hands that's reaching inside my head that they mentioned in the beginning of the piece. That was the first thing that came to me, especially as I opened and shut them. And it was very playful. Obviously, the fleur-de-lis moving up and down with the music was quite delightful and transfixing, and so you begin to respond a little bit like your responses in your head are quite bird-like and curious and playful. At first I felt like I need to do a lot. There's a lot of information here and I need to respond to it. But as you said, once the audience is here and the music is here, it's all there, really. And I almost felt like maybe I shouldn't even be in this room. At first I felt like it was not necessary, because it was almost like a psychological space that didn't need an actor in here. There were all these actors in here, all these elements were acting. And
that's interesting.
This is like decorative, and when I was talking about lushness, I was thinking, of fabrics and grass, and I think one of your students had done the stairwell, which I wanted to put in the stairwell, with the grass and stuff like that, and that's where my head was going. I just didn't think about ornament. I didn't think about the micro nature of the room, and this is what I think is fabulous about the tactile environment. You've got these massive lungs, and then you've got these tiny fragile pieces, and it's a lot, and it's quite theoretical. Like the fleur-de-lis is quite theoretical approach to creating an environment, and then it moves out of that, I think, and then creates this kind of, to me, almost a glass-like nature of an environment.